Ruler School is brought to you by Happy Little Hug Factory and these amazing patrons. Thank you for your support. Enjoy the video. Hey there, Rulers. Welcome back to Ruler School. This is DMO73 bringing you the deck profile for the Token Rush Hanzo list that you saw me play earlier this week. It was sent to me by Lars Grams, a great guy. This list is definitely a ton of fun and a really interesting way to play Hanzo. The whole idea being that you get a bunch of different types of tokens out on the board super fast, and then you use Vlad or Kame to kind of just chip your opponent to death or kind of overwhelm them, or just gain so much life that they can't possibly come back. So we'll just go into the Rune Deck, because we already know what Hanzo does. We use him to flip over a rune when he does Judgment. Whirlwind Technique to get something barrier for one. Really want to protect those Kames or mainly the 4-drops, Chiome, Kame, or Vlad we want to protect. Sealing Scroll can be replaced with Song of the Fairies based on if you think your format is going to be heavy in rune decks versus not. Sandstorm, really quick chip damage across the board, helps get rid of things like Lorite, all kinds of stuff like that. Forest Meditation, primarily to be used in conjunction with Spirit Stone. Obviously with the new ban, this is going to kind of change that, but this is still something that you could potentially do in Wanderer, so keep that in mind. And then Yokai Festival we use just to be able to bring out early game Soot Sprites, which help just fuel your hands. So it's kind of like you don't have anything going on turn 2, you can energize this out, put out 2 Soot Sprites, and then they just serve as blockers or also late game chip damage with Kame to be able to then search out for those ninjas. Going into the stone deck, it's 4 Speaker Stone, which will be banned, so that'll just become green. 3 Speaking Stone, so that we can cast Ruin Stories or things like that. And then 3 Null Magic Stone. This is also so that we have a Barrier Stone, because I don't actually think the deck in the main deck is running. It's not running any Ruin Story in the main, but you could sideboard it. This also could be used to just have some stones to be able to protect yourself against Time Spinning Witch back when that was a problem. And then 3 Null Magic Stones, so we have access to red and black, which is the other colors of the deck. So we're going to kind of jump around a little bit in the main deck because things are kind of all over the place. Obviously, we have Soot Sprite here, who is your main kind of creature to be able to draw into Cat Ninja Scout or Chiome, really helpful. So then we have Chiome, the Captivating Kunoichi, so she's a 4-drop. Every single turn at the end of your turn and your opponent, she's just going to be generating all these different cat tokens. 1/1 cat token every single turn, which is a really good way to get a lot out. Plus she has a solid stat line just by herself and can pump up those cat tokens potentially as well. Ataraktia is a major linchpin of this deck. It gives you access to red really quickly. It helps you ramp up really high when you're playing all of these high-cost creatures. You get to it very quickly, and being able to give free swiftness to things like Kame or Vlad can be very impactful. We play the 1 Heavenly Fruit just so that when we have all these token generators that go to the graveyard like Skeleton Horde or Cat Ninja Scout, you can play Heavenly Fruit and cast them for free, and then they'll get double triggers for Vlad, or it's just free damage extra very quickly to flood the board after a Kame is already on the field. 3 Lorites, obviously we're running green. It's also a small beater that we can use to chip damage away with Kame, and canceling those effects is always important. 2 Kame, stealing something, being able to sack it is also just turning all of those tokens into having chip damage. Portal in the Woods, just another static generator of tokens. 2 Viola, the Treacherous Maiden, potentially being able to give something flying or flash it in as a blocker, things like that. 2 Idol of Magic to help us fix into red so that we can get those Ataraktias out. Ultimately, we don't play a lot of red, so that's kind of the reason why we want to do this. 2 Skeleton Hordes, again, because we want more token generators. A Ferris Command, because sometimes you'll just have enough will that you can cast this with a bunch of tokens and your opponent just can't do anything to it. 3 Ferris Spells for protection. 2 Ray the Black Owl, as well as being protective. 3 Life Severing Blade, because with those tokens that can die really easily, this can very quickly become a 1-drop kill spell. 4 Cat Ninja Scout, because it's a 1-drop 3/3 that we can give swiftness, and that also generates a token when it dies. And then lastly, 2 Vlad the Insatiable for all of his manipulation of the board and multiple drain triggers that he can give you to heal yourself back up. This is definitely a very unique style of rush list. It plays very oddly, being 3 colors, but it is a ton of fun to play, so I definitely recommend you check it out. I still think that you can play this deck casually without having to worry about Speaker Stone being banned. I just think that you can kind of tweak a little bit, maybe even play a 4th Null Magic Stone, but definitely recommend giving the list a try. Huge thanks to Lars again for shipping me the list, and until next time, this is DMO73 saying class dismissed.